This quick demo shows how clearMDM supports a manual match, review, and merge data flow, including reparenting of child records which have a non-reparentable master detail relationship. So this could be a standard object to a child object. It could be custom object to a child object. The process itself supports parent to child to grandchild relationships for master details, and then it will support lookup relationships for further levels of relationship from there. Okay, to start the demo, let's have a quick look at the data model. So I can see here we've set up lookup from account to supplier. Accounts have multiple suppliers potentially. We have a non-reparentable master detail from supplier to the child object supplier tenders, and also from supplier tender through to tender stage. So suppliers have tenders and those tenders have stages, and those two relationships are non-reparentable. Okay, so let's have a look at some supplier records. We have here some example test data which shows a supplier. We have some tenders, tender stage records here. Let's look at another record there. So here we have ABC Health Services. Again, we've got a QA services tender, briefing pack, and a demonstration call stage there. So going back to the original record, if we now do a search for matches, here we're asking clearMDM to find matches in real time. We can see the type of scoring that comes back, the type of match that's taken place. We can save this group of matches, open up the group, and there we can see actually this screen, which is used typically for data stewardship. And this is a great example. We've got a 65% score, which rather than being auto-accepted has fallen into our candidate or our data stewardship threshold of scoring, and is going to require this group to be inspected. If this were to be an automated process, this group wouldn't auto-merge. It would require data stewardship. If all of the records were above the threshold, I'm assuming this would be 75 for auto-acceptance, then the group would auto-merge if that was the process being applied. The other option for data stewardship is using conditions of the records. It could be the category of customer, for example, or supply. It could be lifetime spend. It could be loyalty program membership. These type of factors can play a part in whether groups of records should be data stewarded before the merge takes place, or alternatively, where we simply want auto-merge to take place also. However, this particular use case we're looking at is a manual match and merge flow. So nonetheless, we'll have a quick look at the match analysis page, which is one of the data stewardship tools that allow inspection of the matching scoring, the actual algorithm, the scoring calculation, and also the field values side by side, which can be helpful in making a decision ultimately whether to accept or reject. In this case, however, we're just going to simply take this group of matches and merge. Our options there are merge now. This will run our configured merge rules and automate the process. We'll get reparenting and so forth. Alternatively, if we want to actually look at the field by field decisions, we can click on the merge button there, and that takes us to the merge UI. What we're seeing here is the fields that have been configured for merge. We have our attribute group C, which is our merge rules. We've got a supplier address group, city, country, and so forth. We also have the selection of the master. So the defaults that we're seeing on screen here are driven by the configured rules. So we'll have this logic sitting behind here that's been configured to say the preferred master would be the oldest record, or potentially a portal enabled record or an existing master, that type of thing. Equally with the field values, the default selection, the supplier address again, This record has been chosen as the source for the supplier address based upon the configured rules. And again, the factors that play a part in that could be the recency of the data, the quality of the data, the frequency that this address appears within the duplicates, and so forth. So it's highly configurable how those rules work. And that is, of course, how the automated processes are making their decisions. Here in this manual flow, we're actually able to see the decision, but make a different decision and adjust if we wish to, and actually add overrides also if that's something that we want to do. At the bottom of the screen here, we get the option to reparent related data as well. So in our use case here, this would be the supplier tender data, the tender stages, and whatever sits beneath tender stage, etc. All right, so let's just simply accept those defaults and merge the group. And we can jump conveniently through this link across to the master. We can see ABC Health Limited is our master. If we look at the list of supplier tenders, now we see the complete set across the duplicates. Those tenders have been consolidated across the merged duplicates and now are related to the master. And if we look at the level beneath, the tender stage level, we'll actually see that has been consolidated also and moved across. So that allows us, when we look at the object graph, we can see the complete picture of how the tenders were against their original record, and now that same set of relationships has been recreated against the master record also. And bearing in mind that the relationship type is non-reparentable, the question becomes, okay, well, how has that happened? And the answer is what clearMDM does is it will clone. It has a hierarchical recursive clone function that will allow, during the reparenting of related records, the configured relationships that have been opted in for this process to be traversed, the records to be cloned, and then the relationships on the clones to be traversed in a recursive way. The option then becomes, okay, well, if we've cloned the related records, the supplier tenders, the tender stages, what happens with the originals? And that's where we have a configuration choice. clearMDM can leave those records intact against the duplicates. Alternatively, it can automatically delete the original records also, leaving just one instance of the tender against the master. And of course, the same is true for the tender stages. So that is how the process is able to handle those non-reparentable relationships, like for custom objects, for relationships of that type. If we jump back to the master record, you can see that other aspects of the merge that took place there. You can see the attribute group lineage component is showing us how merges have affected this record over time. We only have one merge, so there's one merge result in this timeline. I can see the original value, the original address on this record. You can see that the merge has updated that. If I'm not comfortable with that change, we can restore values back to any point in the timeline. Alternatively, we can roll back the merge itself, and that will place all of the field values back to the original values, and it will clear the relationships and clear the MDM status, as giving us back an original view of this data. And that rollback function is also applicable to merges within the middle of the timeline. At any point in the timeline, we can roll back. And finally, if we look at the supplier list, we refresh this view, you can see that the original list of matched duplicate suppliers, we have a very clear status value. The master supplier status is set. What typically happens here is that the admins, the data stewards, would retain visibility of the duplicates, the merged source records in this case, However, business users and integrations and consumers of this data in a operational or marketing sense, they would have visibility only of the master data, the master record. So a business user wouldn't any longer see ABC Health Limited and ABC Health Services. They'd simply see the limited master record and all the consolidated data and so forth. But again, that's an implementation choice. Retention of the duplicates and creating the linkages, as we see on screen here, is one way to do things. Alternatively, the duplicates could clearly just be deleted for data storage reasons or compliance reasons, whatever they may be. Okay, thank you.